It's 5 o'clock. It's time to start the November 4th board meeting. Commissioner Stewart, lead us to invocation and the pledge.
Please stand and join us. Heavenly Father, again, we thank you for this opportunity to come and serve our citizens. Lord, we ask that you be with us, grant us wisdom tonight as we do the business of the county. Lord, we thank you for your grace and mercy. And Lord, we ask these things in your holy name. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, welcome to the November 4th, 2019 board meeting. There will be numerous opportunities for citizens to speak. If you wish to speak, give a card to Miss Patty. You can speak on citizens to be heard or any agenda item as it comes forward. So I need approval of the agenda.
Mr. Chairman, we're pulling tab 9 and moving it to general business from consent.
Motion to approve.
And I need to pull 13.
9 and 13.
And 13. That was my motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passes 5-0. Okay, citizens to be heard? All right.
Here we go.
Awards and presentations. We have a Brittany Goyette
Did y'all do
and
that?
Annette Watts.
Goyette, didn't they sing that song, Somebody I Used to Know? Is that the same one?
Clue what he's talking about.
No, that one.
You don't
Neither are we. It's okay.
This is Brittany Goyette.
Speak into the microphone.
This is Brittany Goyette. She works with me for about 6 months now.
She's still there?
She's been... Thank you.
I
Wow.
All right, Randy.
Anyway, so we wanted to show you what our DEP has awarded us every year, the solid waste grant. They give us $90,909 every year. Most of it is used toward the landfill monitoring, toward permits. We've used it a number of years toward tire amnesty. We use it every year for Keep Wakulla County conjunction with them on the hazardous waste day. And it leaves us a little bit extra left over each year. And so this year we decided to go with public education. And this was to be used for reducing the number of plastic bags that go into our landfill that never, ever, ever go away. You know, they'll break down but never go away. And so each one has a little flyer of education on it, and we are passing them out at the board office. The library's passing them out at crazy. Revenue collections, different meetings like this, they'll be available for everybody in the audience today. If you need more, just let us know. We had $7,000 to spend on it. We bought 2,000 bags. They're very nice bags. They represent Wakulla County very well.
Nice.
Okay. Any
Great
questions?
presentation.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Nanette. Thank you, Brittany.
Good job, Nanette.
Keep Wakulla County beautiful, Tammy Nason.
Good evening. I just thought I would come and share a little bit of what we've been doing this year because I haven't had a chance to address you. So just wanted to kind of keep you in the loop. On our Adopt a Road program, so far this year we have 9 new groups that have adopted roads. Thank you, Quincy. We are promoting this program. We had a billboard up by the old El Jalisco's on Facebook at festivals and events, and we've had radio ads promoting that program as well. We have created a PowerPoint to encourage volunteers to report so we can get more accurate numbers because that's always a big issue. But what we have reported so far this year was 50 volunteers, 163 hours, and 2,500 pounds of trash that had been collected with Adopt a Road. We've been participating in festivals and handing out promotional items and educational information. We've been at the Worm Grunting Festival, Arbor Day, St. Patty's Day, and the Trick or Treat Molly Park. We're doing the Waste in Place, which is a program through Keep America Beautiful. reaches out into our schools. We've been at Riverside Elementary a couple times, and we will be back there on November 18th. We also have requested a meeting with the principal at the high school to see what we can do to get in there and promote some recycling and student education. We're still collecting fishing line from the monofilament recovery bins that have been placed at most of the boat launches. The events we've had this year include the river cleanup. It was originally scheduled for December, but had to be rescheduled because of the river conditions, so it was held on February 9th. We started Upper Bridge, cleaned to Lower Bridge. We have volunteers diving, kayaking, and paddleboarding. We had 27 volunteers and collected over 900 pounds of trash from Wakulla River. We are also planning to have this event again on December 7th. On March 23rd, we had the National Forest cleanup. We worked with the U.S. Forestry Service to identify 10 areas where there was excessive litter or had been used for dump sites. We had 37 volunteers come out for that. We had the Wakulla County Sheriff's Office work crew, Smokey the Bear, and we collected 2.73 tons of trash at that event. We had Hazardous Waste Day on April 20th and October 12th. On the April event, we had 413 cars come through, and October, last month, we had 321. We received much appreciated help from Public Works and the Road and Bridge Department, as well as the Wakulla Sheriff's Office work crew and volunteers.
Happy.
We also had the Sheriff's Office come and help us with sharps and prescription drugs and ammunition disposal as well this year. The coastal cleanup in September was amazing. We had 407 volunteers and collected over 5.5 tons of trash. That's over 11,000 pounds in just a matter of hours, so that was pretty awesome. We had some great t-shirts that we handed out that were designed by a local Chris Perry that had popular marine life that we have in our area, such as an alligator, mullet, blue crab, and a manatee. We have America Recycles Day coming up, which is on November 15th. We are teaming up with Winn-Dixie, and we'll be having a plastic bag return event. So we're following up on Nanette's bags there. We've been putting up flyers and promoting this on Facebook, but we're asking everybody to bring in their single-use plastic bags from shopping at the stores, and we'll be handing out our reusable shopping bags as well. So we're trying to use this as an effort to reduce the use of single-use plastic bags. Lastly, in the spring, Keep Florida Beautiful has asked all of its affiliates to join in the Leaders Against Litter program. That is going to be part of the Great American Cleanup Kickoff, which happens in the spring. So we're going to try and coordinate that with our forest cleanup, which is going to be on February 29th. The Great American Cleanup is Keep America Beautiful's signature event and supported heavily through our Department of Transportation funding. And so they're asking for all of us to do that. So I'm kind of giving you a heads up that I'm going to be reaching out to each and every one of you to try and participate with us at that event on February 29th.
Okay.
And that's all I got.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
very much.
Move consent.
Second.
Any citizens? A motion and a second. All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Passes 5-0. Item number 9.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a item to request board approval of the Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation, Inc. Memo of Understanding. The original agenda item had also sought approval to purchase a rescue boat for fire rescue that was going to be funded by this grant, but that needs to come back at a future board meeting once the budget amendment process has been accomplished. And so tonight, we're just requesting board approval of the MOU.
So moved.
Second.
Any citizens? Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passes 5-0. Number 13.
I asked to pull that because I will be recusing myself from the vote. My wife is working with this customer that's requesting the SHIP funds, so I will not be voting. I have filled out my paperwork already.
Motion for approval on the item?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passes 4-0.
The next item this evening is a request for the board's approval to schedule a workshop on December 3rd at 3 p.m. regarding the Crawfordville Town Plan 2019 update.
So moved.
So,
I got a second.
yeah, I want to make a friendly amendment if it's possible. I'd like to move it. This is something I think is real important.
I didn't get a second.
I'll second it for discussion.
Basically, I think this is too important just to put it in the afternoon. So I'd like to see, have us the meeting at night, and we could do it that same day, but do it after the end of the BOCC
I got no
meeting.
problem with that. No problem. Follow me.
Good with me.
Okay. So we're going to have a meeting after the,
You want to set a definitive time so people know when to be here, or?
6 o'clock at the earliest. So if we finish early, we'll have to sit around and wait, but at 6 o'clock at the end of the board meeting,
Whichever is later.
whichever is later.
Is there a lot of items on that? Any P&Z items on that month?
I
That's fine.
don't know
Let's
yet.
Just make it 6.
Okay. Okay. I have a number of citizens. Mr. Gary Haig.
Gary Haig, 40 Garner Circle East, Crawfordville, Florida. I actually think multiple public meetings would probably be necessary for this item. This is our future, it's the future of Crawfordville, and we shouldn't circumvent the citizens by only having one meeting. I'm glad it got moved to the evening because, in the afternoon a lot of people can't go because they're working. And, the planning department calls this an update. I think it's a major overhaul. If you look at it, it's 45 pages. There's a lot of stuff in there for people to digest. So I think it really needs to be well advertised and put out there ahead of time before those meetings so that people have a chance to understand it and really make some valuable comments. I still don't think that the current plan is in deficit, and we just had the recent study by Kimley Horn that said we didn't need to do that much, and there was enough within the current town plan to keep us going through 2035. And then when I looked at the scope of the proposed change in the amount of land that would be added, and then the lack of other things that would be added with it, that concerned me. There's no parks in there. There's no, where is the budget going to come to pay for the infrastructure on all of this? It's quite a big change that they're looking at and they're proposing. So plenty of time for the public to do this, and then also in the future, maybe there needs to be some language in there that we will actually follow the plan. The last town plan kept on getting amended and amended, which a lot of citizens spoke out against, but it still got amended. I know what that process is there for, but when you do a big plan like this and get a lot of people involved, then you need to be good to your word and stick with the plan as much as possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Alan Reese.
Alan Reese, 294 Emerald Acres Drive.
This workshop will be a good start. Thank you for scheduling this. But since it took several years, numerous workshops, many groups involved, studies involved, one workshop, I agree with what Gary was saying, will not be enough to address all the issues around the Crawfordville Town Plan. This is a significant change, and there needs to be more than one workshop. Thank you for changing the time to 6 o'clock. That was going to be one of my comments. 3 o'clock, most people can't be here at 3 o'clock. They have to take off from work. So 6 o'clock will be a great benefit. So thank you for doing that, because they'd probably lose a half a day's pay if they could come at 3 o'clock, and most people simply can't do that. And the last thing I'd like to mention, since this is a major change to the Crawfordville Town Plan, I think there should be a moratorium on all land uses until all the issues around this are resolved. So consider that, a moratorium on land uses until the issues around the Crawfordville Town Plan can be resolved. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Eugene Watkins.
Mm-hmm. Pause for planning. Now leave go.
Eugene Watkins, 35 Rough Cut Road. I agree we need this workshop and several more workshops, and I also am glad that y'all switched it to 6 o'clock. And I too agree we need more than just one. The town plan designates where to encourage high-density housing to avoid urban sprawl and to maintain the rural character in the rest of our community. Enlarging the boundaries of the town plan will encourage urban sprawl and destroy the rural character of our county. Citizens who participate in developing the town plan did not expect the boundaries to be changed 7 years later when there is no need. The current town plan has capacity for 6,000 residential structures per Kimley Horn April 2017 Wakulla Town Plan Land Use Assessment. If we go through the process of holding workshops and collecting input from the public, will this board commit to upholding our town plan and comp plan? The citizens who will commit their time and work on the town plan have a right to know everyone on this board will support the town plan. In recent history, this board has disregarded the town plan and comp plan and voted for allowing 2 new developments outside the town plan boundaries despite citizen objections. If you are not willing to uphold the town plan and comp plan, then you are wasting taxpayer money and citizens' time for having these workshops. If the town plan is going to be useful to Wakulla County for implementing a common vision among stakeholders and the public, it has to be followed. It cannot be changed by this board every time a developer desires to build outside the town plan. You must commit to the town plan boundaries. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So what would it take to actually have more than one hearing? Because we'll have the workshop, and then you'll have to come back with what your new proposal is after the workshop. Mm-hmm. Okay. We'll have some hearings there so people can comment on that.
Yeah, once we hold this first workshop, like you said, we'll incorporate comments that are generated at that workshop. We'll bring it back to the board, and the board can decide whether they want to adopt it or not, or hold another workshop.
I think we should, just to make sure we vet this good, at least one more workshop after this one. Because, we want to make sure. The reason why I want to say it is, if somebody's going to come up and say, well, y'all shouldn't have done that, I want to be able to say we gave plenty of opportunity for input.
Right.
So I think we need at least one more workshop beyond this one. If there's any major changes that come, to maybe another one, but at least 2.
Okay.
No problem with it. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. Well, I just want to make sure that we don't just
push it through. Yeah, I agree.
So,
everybody needs to be, not everybody's going to like it. I know that. You know that.
Yeah.
But we at least some buy-in.
We need to have some comment. We need to have buy-in from our citizens on whatever decision we make. Okay. And
because I've asked Summer to update a lot of things. I mentioned a lot of places sewer is not shown where it is. I wanted to see arterial and collector roads. Where are they within this new boundary? I'd like to see water lines, if we can possibly get those on there, because we constantly hear that the infrastructure is not in place, but there is infrastructure.
around.
Well, there's water lines almost everywhere, yes.
But there's sewer lines that aren't shown
There's
too.
sewer as well, and we're expanding.
Yeah, the sewer lines are minimal in this.
Yeah, but this allows us to go ahead and do that, and we've already got plans to increase the sewer line, so infrastructure-wise, it's a perfect area
For
for it.
example, the map that was provided shows the force main ending on Wakulla area. It actually goes all the way over to Spring Creek Highway. Just little things like that. And of course, there's a force main that goes to the school that wasn't shown on there. So I asked her to update all that stuff. I'd like to see the arterial and collector roads. I think we'll see that, is Spring Creek Highway
An
arterial road now?
arterial road.
That this town plan revision is going between two arterial north-south corridors, and there's several collectors in the middle between them. So I'd like to see all that stuff too.
Okay.
Maybe also like any level of service so we can see capacity, whether we're over or under capacity on those roads as well.
Absolutely. We can include that spreadsheet in the workshop item so you have it available.
And I'm glad to see, I don't want to get too deep into this, that includes all that vacant St. Joe property around the dump too, that's prime time stuff.
This is a little large for me, and so it's
I understand.
the whole idea of the town plan was to consolidate our growth into an area that we can give good service to and maintain the rural character of our community, and this,
Good things to talk about at the workshop.
good thing to talk about. All right. With the change in date, time, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passes 5-0. Number 14.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, this agenda item requests board approval of revisions to the Wakulla County's projects included in the Gulf Consortium, which is our Pot 3 Restore Act State Expenditure Plan. The projects will be, as per the previous plan, the Bayside Marina feasibility study, and then the possibility of a Bayside Marina acquisition based upon that study. The other two projects will be Otter Creek Wastewater Treatment Plant, New Train 3 for $9.5 million, and Coastal Sewer Acquisition, the Talquin, depending upon whether Talquin will allow us to acquire the Shell Point sewer system. It says in here there's a wastewater treatment facility. That's not true. It's just a lift station. Wastewater treatment facility was taken out, but we'd like to acquire Shell Point and Spring Creek. That would allow us to, if we acquire that, we can add on more customers that we can force customers to come on board. Talquin is not willing to do that, as well as extend some lines into some areas where we can pick more up, as well as the potential to go out and grab Live Oak Island and get the sewer off of Live Oak Island as well. The cost for that is $1.8 million, 18881, and for a total of $11,381,000.
Motion to approve, and I got a question.
Second.
Also in there, it says that there's sewer on Live Oak Island, which there isn't.
That's right. There-
One
I was
reason to
gonna
do
clarify
this
that.
is so we
Right.
can,
We need the sewer Live Oak
yeah,
Island.
absolutely. I
Has
agree.
Natchez Sands been sewered?
Yeah, that's been sewer for a long time. The other one is, on this marina, is it our intent to just simply get it for a boat ramp and parking? And we're not going to get into the commercial marina.
Our plan right now is primarily we'll install a boat ramp. It'll be for parking and boat ramp, and there will be some slips there, but we're planning on subbing that out to someone
We're
else.
not going to have a big indoor boat storage
No,
building.
no.
We're not going to compete against local marinas.
We're not going to compete against local marinas. We'll have a few slips there, just like we do at Rock Landing.
And I'm all for having increased access to the water.
And we've got to do something because Rojo is dangerous. It's not expandable, and so this is an obvious point.
Shell Point's overtaxed, Matchy Sands overtaxed.
Right.
So
Everything
All
we've
of our
got
boat
is
landings
overtaxed.
are over, there's
Certainly
too much
support
demand.
any increased access to the water.
That's right. And this is a good, safe place to do it, and so that's the reason we're going
I should
to
have
try to
waited for a
pursue it.
second, Mr.
And Matchy Sands is still hard to access at low tide.
Yeah.
I was there this weekend and people were
Any
just
second?
waiting.
Yeah, second.
Yeah, I seconded it.
I can't afford a boat, so I wouldn't know about that.
I was standing on the bank with a net.
I got it.
You just drive by Wakulla River, you see it. Okay, now, my big question comes is, are we getting all the sewer in the county that we need to? Because we're spending all of our money, and, it's supposed to be an enterprise system for the sewage, and the tap fees are supposed to pay for the sewer plants. But we have all these areas inside the community, inside Crawfordville proper, that aren't not sewered. okay? And we need to spend something, we need to get some money to fix that, okay? And that's not going to come from development, where new development, that's going to be a problem we have to develop from in-house funds.
That's part of our overall long-range plan, is to sewer all of Crawfordville. In fact, when we finish with Grinder's Addition, the next hop is to come north on that side of the road and sewer that, as well as sewer everything on the west side over here as
Hudson
well.
Heights is basically, I mean, the only realistic place where we can put
Yeah.
sewer where you have lots and blocks. We have a
Well,
small system.
We need to sewer Dogwood, and then we're gonna hop across the street and go from west here. And we'll go west. And
We have
sewer this.
smaller lots. We're not gonna go into somewhere like Magnolia Ridge and dig all their
No.
roads up and
But
half-acre lots.
what the plan is that's part of, we've already talked to DEP, that's part of our plan with our septic to sewer, and that'll advance that. And the purpose of going after, as you know, with DEP, they're not paying the access fees, so therefore, we have to, if we can't get paid for those access fees from DEP, we need to be able to get the plant, a grant for the plant, so that's what this is.
And not too far off track, Chuck, unbeknownst to me, I didn't know this, but the state health department is allowing people to put in these performance-based systems without having engineering work done, so they don't have to pay an engineer. There's been tons of them done, tons of them, these upgrades to performance-based.
To the passive system.
Yeah, no.
But not the new nitrogen reducing,
Yeah.
the old
No,
performance?
they can do it fast. I mean, just like I design, they've been letting them put in as repairs as permanent as an ATU, I'm sorry. So they're not considered performance-based, so they don't need to pay an engineer. They just let them put the fast unit in, and it's nitrogen reduction.
That's the sawdust unit?
No,
No?
that's the fast unit, the one that LB Brooks makes the tanks for. And,
I got it.
So, but if we're putting them in, we're not getting the credit for them, and if the citizens are doing it, they're not getting the grant money for
yeah,
it.
they're getting the grant.
Yeah.
They're getting the grant?
Yeah, yeah.
An engineer.
I won't say they just take the engineer out of the loop, but I think they recently changed their minds.
That's the
on
reason
that.
Randy can't afford a boat.
That's right. They're having some confusion up there on that, but that came down from the state. But my point is, when you mentioned needing the sewer, this performance-based upgrade, people are flocking to it because, I mean, it's $10,000 to replace your failing septic system, and all you got to do is pay $200 a year for an operating permit.
Well, I did it, I did the passive system, and it cost me, I got it for free, and I got it.
You did the sawdust one?
I did the sawdust one.
Interested to see how that holds up.
Okay.
I think
But we still haven't changed it such that people in PFA 1 can do the sawdust system. When is that coming forward?
Summer?
I'm sorry.
Our comp plan still says you have to be performance-based, and we wanted to change it to
If you-
nitrogen reduction.
That's correct. Yep, we're in
It's
the
coming?
process of getting that wrapped up to get to you guys, so we should have it pretty soon.
Okay.
See, there are good reasons to change the comp plan, right?
So it's there to change, so yes.
There are good reasons.
Be interesting to see you vote on that one, right?
You've got to have a good reason.
I will. Yeah.
I never said it. Okay.
My motion stands.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Passes 5-0.
Thank you. The next agenda item is, this is a public hearing, technically. Request the board approval to conduct a public hearing and approve the purchase and sale agreement for acquisition of a piece of property in Wakulla Gardens. The piece of property is located on Iroquois, and the purpose of that is for a future lift station site.
Move.
Second.
Any citizens? Okay. We have a motion and a second. Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passes 5-0. Planning and zoning, nothing. Commissioner agenda items. County attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is an item to request board approval to schedule an attorney-client executive session in the matter of Tracy Chance versus Wakulla County, which is pending in federal court up in the Northern District of Florida in Tallahassee. We're seeking board's approval to hold this closed-door executive session on November 18th, 2019 at 4 p.m.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passes 5-0.
Nothing further.
County administrator.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I want to, for those that didn't attend our story walk that our library puts on and our county staff as well puts on every year was well attended again this year. There was a massive amount of people there. For those that passed out candy, it was unbelievable. So it's great for our community. But Cody Sahlberg and Louis' crew and Ned and Mike and
Did Summer dress up?
and Summer dressed up as a witch. She was a witch as
She's a
usual.
witch?
She was a witch as usual. And believe it or not, so was Melissa. So
No. she
yeah,
couldn't be a
that
witch.
was
Summer, I can understand.
but the event went really well. Well attended, and it's a great event for our community. So, I was dressed up as a county administrator.
Scary.
I scared more people than that was worth. So,
I was dressed up as a guy sitting at the house watching TV.
Randy was a troll.
That's right. That's right. But other than that, we ended the year well. As far as financially, we'll be, Brandy will be talking about that. We'll be bringing forward the, probably right first year, the 1 cent sales tax spending plan, maybe in December, but we're having meetings this month with our staff on the 1 cent sales tax spending. We're looking at a couple of things that we're looking at for as far as leasing out. We've got an offer potentially for a ladder truck that we're going to be working with a company on. That's a used ladder truck to try to replace the one that we've got, but we'll be leasing that out. Our plan is due to the price tag. And we're working on a couple other programs, but we'll be bringing the 1 cent sales tax spending and our master spending plan to you guys December or January. That's it.
That's it? Okay, citizens to be heard. Discussion items.
I'm good.
David, you sent me an email about CRTPA, about safe routes to
Scrap
school.
that. We've got that worked out. That was for the Wildwood. We're going to go to Safe Route School, apply for that funding for the Wildwood sidewalk, Wildwood Drive.
That's a separate application.
That's right, a separate application. We just have to go through CTST with that. So,
How's the Wildwood repaving coming?
well, that's a part of this. Justin's going to give me the plans here shortly for that.
It'll include the sidewalk, the paving.
And we're going to try to get the Safe Routes to School funding to pay for the sidewalk, and then we'll pay for the resurfacing.
But if they don't do it, are we still
We'll be on,
prepared
yeah,
to pay for it?
we're prepared to pay for it.
Any possibility of getting turn lanes at the middle school and elementary school, River
Justin,
Springs Middle School?
Springs.
I think we looked at that, and it necessarily didn't warrant it, right?
It's horrible in the mornings, I can tell you that.
We've had traffic counts pulled on those, and they weren't excessive.
Yeah. Based on traffic counts, they were not excessive.
Well, and I understand it wouldn't be excessive on an average annual daily, but if you go there when people are trying to get to work in the morning and people are trying to take their kids to school, it's literally backed up a half a mile.
So the one time that Mr. Edwards asked me to go out there and take a look at it, school's out. So,
Go back.
He went on a Saturday morning. I don't know why they were.
If you get a chance, go back there. What time's Summer Middle School get in?
It's about, I think it's 7:25 or 7:30 is when the bell rings.
7:30. Just go by there one time, and you'd be amazed. I mean, a simple left turn lane northbound would fix a lot of things, because people are trying to go to work at that same time, and then people are trying to turn into the school, and the parking lot of the school gets filled up, so people are sitting there queued up to turn left,
Right.
and people can't get to work.
So it's a stacking. You
And
need-
sometimes the ditches are full coming south as
Ditches
well.
are full.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be that huge of an expense. I mean, we're spending a lot of money at the intersection apparently for the light.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you get a chance, go back at that time in the morning. Right, Summer, you kid goes there?
Yep,
It's bad, isn't it?
I've been through it.
Horrible. We'll do it.
Well, and that's also, we need to talk to the school board about, is there any way they can alter their traffic within their,
Well, that won't help.
how they spend their traffic
That
as well.
won't help with so many people northbound trying to turn left. That's the problem, right,
I
Summer?
got you.
But they got all those retention ponds by the road too, so there's not really a whole lot
All right.
that
Well,
can be
a
done.
left turn lane would, I mean, there's one at Crawfordville now, right? The elementary school, didn't we put one in there?
Yeah.
I think there
Yes.
is one there, yeah.
Yes,
There is.
yes.
Remember, same sort of issue, but this time it's not just Ronnie Kilgore complaining, it's all the people trying to get to work in the morning, and it's I mean, I haven't gotten a lot of calls about it, but I feel sorry for them people. That's
Something
all
we
I
should be addressing. Anything else?
Do you want to say something about the parade this weekend, sir?
Oh, yeah, I can.
Well, we've got Commissioner Stewart and Thomas for our Grand Marshals. I was telling them a while ago, we just borrowed them a good ride from,
Bellamy's?
no, the one up across from FCI.
Yeah?
Power
Red Hills?
Sport, Red Hills Power
Uh-huh.
Sports. So they're gonna have a class ride. And I think our state representative, Chof, I think he's gonna be riding with y'all.
Nice.
And I'll be emceeing.
My
the
brother's
parade.
gonna be driving it. He's a motocross racer, so I can't guarantee for your,
Safety.
condition at the end of the parade.
Okay.
But, yeah, we're hoping for a good turnout. We've had help this year setting it up. It's not left on us a bunch of old men to do anymore, or not this year anyway. But, it made it a lot easier, and, there's gonna be a 5K run starting about 7 or 7:30 ahead of it.
Mike?
We're not doing that. The other group that's helping us is putting that on. Anybody that's a runner.
Mike?
And then we'll have our festival in the park after the parade like we used to do and had kind of died out. We're going to try to go back to doing that. And we're hoping for a good turnout. I mean, there's been times when the parade had more people in it than people watching it. That kind of stunk. But hopefully it'll be better this time.
Oh, good.
But
Yep.
and there'll be vendors and there'll be stuff for the kids. You know, just
And the parade lineup is at 9:30, the parade starts at 10?
9-ish, 9:30-ish
But the
in
parade
there.
starts at 10.
It'll be
Yeah.
dribbling in till the minute we pull out on the street. I'm sure it always has. But yeah,
Parade at 10.
be behind
This is
Azalea Park.
Saturday, right?
Yes.
It's Saturday.
Parade at
It'll
10.
be this Saturday.
Parade at 10, festival at 11, right?
Sir?
Parade at 10, festival at 11.
Immediately following the parade, yeah, however long it takes us to get back around there.
Okay, thank you.
But, you know, Pledge of Allegiance and all that, they're at the pavilion. And everything will be centered more or less on the pavilion.
Okay.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
My daughter will be in it, so I'll be there in spirit. She'll be a cheerleader.
Randy will be at the race.
So, as you come home forward with the workshop on the town plan, could you have the progress on the regional stormwater included? Because that's,
Regional stormwater?
it's part of the town plan.
We really won't have anything more than what we have right now, which is a whole bunch of nothing, because DOT has stopped working on the plans, and until they crank those back up, there's nothing really for stormwater side to
So we
talk
try,
about.
I thought we were trying to move the DOT, the Crawfordville up in the process. How's
It
that
is,
going?
but it's still, it ain't even in the 5-year plan.
Yeah, they've got their set of plans done now, but they've shelved them, and they'll come back out whenever it comes back out, we can talk about it. We've already notified them.
Keep saying that, you might live to be 70.
It'll happen.
So,
They would believe to be 80, he said.
It'll happen.
I mean, it's not, it's on the long-term transportation plan, it's
Yeah,
there.
it'll
But
happen.
it's not in the next 5 years.
No.
Yeah, I just, we have to really be on top of it if we're going to get that regional stormwater.
Yeah, and like I told you before, that regional, it will not be the entire town plan area, just due to the number of basins that are there and the lack of depth. So we're only talking about being able to serve a couple of areas, and that's.
Speaking of that, we need to, every time you see somebody at DOT, thank them for
Yep.
paying to move that water line. That saved us a couple million, and they're paying to move the sewer lines from Walmart north, right? The one that serves the school and the flowers.
Yep.
Citizens aren't having to pay that. DOT's picking up the tab on that, so. And that's gonna be huge when it comes to downtown. That's gonna save millions of dollars.
And
Motion
our
to adjourn.
red light at Wooden Lake Road.
Wooden Lake Road, that's right.
They're going to pay for it? All right, we're adjourned.
We're gonna have to pay to realign them.
Yeah.